These drones give troopers a bird's eye view. It's a process where plastic meets the Earth's structure. The Museum of Glass is recreating that journey, and I have with me again Eric. The Five insist the video was taken out of context. They say the roast was meant to make fun of racists, sexists, and bigots as opposed to condoning those views.
Brittany, thank you so much for being here. Now, he's confessed to 2 kidnapping cold cases, right?
Kevin Schaus was arrested for sexually assaulting a 4-year-old.
Police say another person on scene assisted Jimenez while Boeheim used his cell phone flashlight to warn other drivers.
Oh man, you look amazing. I see you got the scarf, the hat going on. A lot of beads there. Mind if I get a bead? You know, let's share the love. There you go. All right, all right. That's right. Okay, Camille, now I'm official.
This ice where I'm standing is about 6 feet above the shoreline. As you can see, water came ashore, hitting all the way up into the trees and freezing branches. This right here is one of 2 signs that was vandalized this week. It appears to have what looks like a communist symbol spray painted on Quante Wright's face. Here in the north side of Syracuse, let me show you here, we have cracks down in the cement as a result of this water main break. The information already found will help visitors see him as not just a mummy, but a person. Picture the 1930s. Syracuse is a transportation hub. It was a busy weekend for Democrats, at least for those running or thinking of running for president. The trial for a Utica woman accused of fatally stabbing her mother. It's been a long time since the days of Blockbuster Video. In fact, with just one of the chain stores remaining in the entire country, if you're heading downtown near the On Center, you want to be mindful that State Street at Adams Street and Harrison Street is closed, but April 24th, 2004 is a day that still haunts many in this North Side community in Syracuse. One of their own, 5-year-old Brittany Fish, vanished from outside her home on Carbon Street. She would be found a day later after a massive search, but it's those 24 hours in between that really only one person can describe. Now, in an exclusive interview, Brittany Fish tells us what happened.
I could go minute by minute. I know every single thing.
There are memories you want to hold dear, some you want to forget. For the now 19-year-old Brittany Fish, there are memories that just won't go away.
I know the way he looked at me, the way every word that he said to me, the songs that were playing in the car.
April 24th, 2004, a massive search was underway after then 5-year-old Brittany Fish disappeared. The only trace left behind, her scooter, found in a storm drain on her North Side neighborhood in Syracuse.
We waited all night that night, and my brother was like pounding the walls and just it was very traumatic and chaotic.
It's not too often when you have a child that's missing with no evidence of anything. Just disappears off the face of the earth. It's like she vanished.
Earlier that day, Brittany was riding her scooter to a friend's house just a few blocks from her home.
There's a 4-way intersection, 4-way stop sign, and I stopped at the stop sign and I saw a white car approach me, and I figured he was just stopping at the stop sign and he was going to keep going on his way.
But he didn't.
He ended up getting out of his car and going to the back of the trunk, and he said he was looking for a butterfly catcher.
Nothing could have prepared Brittany for what happened next.
The next second, he had his arms around my mouth and he pushed me into the back of his car.
What was going through your mind, at that time?
I think it all just hit me. I think, just shock at first. I couldn't do anything but scream and cry. And then he told me to get lower into the floorboard of the car so nobody could see me.
Brittany kept crying and screaming until
he threw his car into park and put a gun to my head and said, you better stop crying before I shoot you, and pulled the trigger. I was thinking more of my life than to be found at that point, because I was like, if I don't cry, then I have more of a chance, because if not, then he could pull the trigger.
What was the voice of Kevin like?
The only thing I can think of is the demon. It was just deep, and the things he said to me didn't help. They were disgusting things that he was saying.
Hours later, Brittany's abductor dropped her off at a vacant building in DeWitt. He'd bound her hands and feet and wrapped duct tape around her head, covering her eyes, nose, and mouth.
He told me to lay on the ground underneath the tarp, and that he said he had to run to the bank and he was gonna stop and get me McDonald's because he thought I was hungry.
For hours, Brittany laid under that tarp in the blustery cold.
The whole 23 hours underneath that tarp, it was a mixture between crying, screaming, throwing my body around. I had to keep urinating to keep myself warm. I knew I was in the back of somewhere, but I didn't know if it was going to be accessible to somebody to hear me. That's why I didn't lose hope. I didn't stop.
Loud music. That's why Syracuse police pulled over 23-year-old Shaolin Moore Friday. Police say they just wrapped up a drugs and weapons investigation near Skiddy Park and noticed Moore playing his music loudly in violation of the city's noise code. They pulled him over, but the traffic stop quickly escalated.
Why he doing all that?
The passenger in the car recorded the incident.
Yo, why you punching my man?
There's definitely some disconcerting images in the video, but I'd also be hesitant to comment too authoritatively. The video starts just before the incident occurs, so it's hard to know the context of the situation.
According to court documents, the officers say Moore disobeyed multiple requests to get out of his car and was resisting arrest. The arresting officer also claims that he feared Moore may be concealing a weapon. Syracuse Police Chief Kenton Buckner said the incident was reported immediately and an investigation began before the video was posted online. In a statement, he said, "I recognize the concerns that have been raised by the community, and I want to assure the community that under department protocol, when officers use force, including this time, we complete a thorough investigation."
We also spoke with Moore's lawyers, who said they are aware that the chief takes these matters seriously, and they said this will be a good test as to how the chief will respond. But their big question is, how did a stop for a noise violation escalate rapidly to a physical altercation?
You can pick whatever you want.
It's like Santa's workshop, so to speak.
See if I can grab it.
Where you can have whatever you like.
This. It's so much fun to just see everyone come in and be able to get something for Christmas and have a good holiday and just see a smile on their face after I give them a gift.
For months, the Salvation Army has been collecting donations to build up for this big day, Distribution Day.
We have about 1,000 volunteers here, so it's an incredible day. We serve up to almost 10,000 people today, so the volunteers are here making it happen.
Which, at times, can get a little hectic.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. This one?
How about this one?
No worries. There is a system here.
The key is we have personal shoppers that works with every family. So a volunteer matches up with a family, and they take them through almost like a trip to the mall.
I can hide in this bag.
So let's walk it through. First, you're matched.
5 children. 5.
Whoa! They go to the toy station. Each kid gets a toy.
Oh, wait, yeah. Can we get the Razor scooter?
They help them pick out a toy.
Thank you.
Then they go get a stuffed animal and a board game.
Okay, who's next?
They move on to the stocking station. The stockings are pre-packed already.
No, we go from where to where?
Then they get books, and then they get a box of food for the week.
There you go, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Compassion and gratitude, priceless gifts from the heart.
There is a need here. Everyone understands that Syracuse does have a need. And they talk about not having Christmas and not being able to provide for their kids is just to get them on their feet. But, they shouldn't have to worry about providing their kids for Christmas, no matter what your situation is. Everyone here knows that we're all one step away from being in the same situation. So I think it's important that we're all in this together.
Oh, not you.
A thrill of hope, exchanged in joy.
Merry Christmas.
That is a